Hey there, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Toni and I'm a homeschooling mom of 4 kids. And I am going to be talking today about how to organize and store your books, your curriculum, whatever it is that you're going to be using this year. If you're anything like me, you probably have a lot of books. I own a lot of books. We also have library books and we have curriculum books for each child, and we have just read alouds, and there's books and different things everywhere. If you don't have it stored in an organized way, it can become a disaster. So I'm going to share with you a few things that I have found that are really working for us in our homeschool this year. A couple of them were thrift store finds, a couple of them were just really good deals on something that you can find at your local store that I will tell you about in just a few minutes. So if you want to get more organized and find out how I've done this, stay tuned. So the first storage solution that I'm going to share with you are these bins. So first of all, the bins are in this cabinet that I've seen a lot of people have. I'm pretty sure IKEA sells something pretty similar. I actually found this at a Bet and Dent years ago, and it just has like an imperfection on the inside somewhere, and it was like $10. I've used this vertically where we've kept books in it. I've used it horizontally so we have it as a bench. Right now we're using it as like kind of a coffee table. But the cool thing is you can put whatever you need inside of these bins. And what I found were these. I think my favorite part is just how like sleek and pretty they look. I just love the look of them. I'll pull one out to show you. Ooh, they're heavy. So the main reason why I am not using them for our main school stuff this year is because they are so heavy. They are metal. I got these at a surplus store near us, so I don't even know like the brand or anything. But if you ever see anything like this, I think these are really pretty and would be really cool to use in your schoolroom, but maybe not something that you have to like pull out for every day because they are really heavy. But I found these cute little chalkboard signs, so I just put each kid's name on their box. And then what we're using them now for is their library books. So I will show you in a minute what I have as a library box, but our library box only holds so many books. It's not a huge library box, and I do not like to have library books all over the house. So I thought this was a really good way to have each kid, whatever they checked out, has to stay in their library box, so they can take out whatever they want to read, and then when they're done, they put it back, and they're responsible for their books. So all 3 of my girls have one of these. My son has one of these too, but his has blocks or something in it right now. So I just keep his library books with ours. But if you can find a pretty, like, sleek box like this, that would be the way to go. And I did find this, like I said, at a surplus store. So they were less than $10 a piece, which is kind of more than I usually want to pay. I feel like they were about $8 a piece. So to me, that was kind of a lot, but I really, really liked them. So even though we're not using for our main school box this year, I'm still using them and getting use out of them. I think they're pretty and they could go anywhere in the house because they're cool. They're not like homeschool. They could be used for anything. So that is my first storage solution that I would recommend. Some sort of cool looking box like this, and then get multiple so that you can put each kid's library books in their own box so they can be more responsible. So here is the family library box. This is where I keep all of the books that either are science related books that I've checked out from the library, or history related books, or just something that's kind of for everybody. I keep my little guy's books in here because, like I said, I don't have a library box for him, and I keep my books that I'm reading in here too. This does have a nice lid, but when it has library books in it, doesn't close. So I just have it in my living room up against the wall, and it just sits up like this, and I think it's pretty. It's something that I don't mind having in the living room, even though it's got a bunch of library books in it. It's still pretty. I got this a couple years ago at the thrift store for just a couple dollars, and I've used it for a few different things over the years, but I found that I like it in our living room. It's white, and it's kind of that like rustic chalkboard painted white. I didn't do anything to it, I just bought it. But it was super cheap. Check your thrift store because they have all kinds of boxes that you can use in your schoolroom or in your house or different places. Just keep your eye out thrift stores are one of the best places for other people to discard what they're not using anymore that you can now use and make a treasure for you in your house. So I just love finding a cool thrift store find, and this has worked so well for our library box. But as you can see, if I didn't have those other boxes for the girls' individual books, this would be overflowing and it would be on the floor and everything. So it's nice that I was able to separate it out, and I know what's in here and I know the girls' stuff is going to be in there. So this has worked really well. So the next storage solution I'm going to share with you is probably my favorite, and I have just discovered this recently. These are called the LatchMate storage bins. I originally heard about them through the Good and the Beautiful Facebook community, because so many of those moms use this, and I was like, what's the big deal about this plastic storage bin? But as you can see right there, that's what we use this year. I've got 4 of them, 1 for each of my kids. So these are so awesome. So I'll show you inside. The cool part is these have a nice sturdy handle. This has a bunch of books in it, and you can still pick it up and it doesn't come off because it latches, like the name, LatchMate storage bin. So these little clamps on the side latch, keep it closed. So you can take the top off. They have a nice tray inside of it. So this one is my oldest daughter's box. So it's got 3 little bins here and then 1 big bin. So she's got, you know, like a pencil and a scissors and color pencils here. She's got a little eraser here. She doesn't have a whole lot in hers. Some bookmarks. So just what she needs for her daily use. If you have a big school table that's maybe like a big rectangle, this would be cool to just, they bring this part over and they've got all their supplies for the day that they can put in front of them or something like that. We have a round school table, so we don't have space for that. So they just keep theirs over there. They go get what they need and then they come back to the table, so it doesn't take up extra space. But here's the cool part. Even with this tray inside of here, it's still closed nicely. She has everything she needs except for there's 2 things that does not fit in this box that she just keeps over there. But she has her shared reader, so this is all for the Good and the Beautiful, this part. She's got her personal readers, those are good sized books. Her course book, her course companion, and then she's got her composition book that she uses for spelling dictation. She's got her handwriting book in here. She has her daily checklist in here, and then an extra composition book that we haven't even used yet. And all of that fits in here with the tray. Isn't that amazing? When I first heard about this, I thought, well, there's no way that's gonna fit everything, even though everybody said it did. I had to try it out for myself, but it does. So we get it all in there, nice, neat, and tidy. It is such a nice organizational tool for our homeschool so that we're not a disaster and stuff everywhere. Because when we had stuff, we have these built-in cabinets here in our schoolroom, which are great. But you know what they did last year when we used that is they just stuffed stuff in, and they just piled their books in, and then every time I'd open it, I would want to cry because there was just stuff everywhere. But this, they've got to make sure it fits and that it closes, and then they put it back every single day. So these are pretty awesome. I will show you what the pre-K one looks like, because it's even cooler for younger ones. Okay, so the only thing that did not fit in my oldest daughter's box was the geography and grammar cards that they have for the Good and the Beautiful Language Arts. So I just got more of these little zipper pouches, and they fit perfectly. So we just separated the grammar cards in one and the geography cards in the other, but they were too big to fit in there. So she just keeps them in her cabinet. So all she has in her cabinet is that and her science and history notebook, and that's it. Every single thing else we need is in here. So that is wonderful to be that organized. I love it. Okay, so for my little guy who's doing the pre-K with the Good and the Beautiful, he's got the same exact bin, but he actually uses all these little compartments. So we have a little letter cube that we use for games. We've got some Q-tips that we use to make letters with. That was kind of cool the other day. He's got a glue stick. He's got some counting bears and dinosaurs and things. And then he's got scissors. And then I got this. I just had his crayons in here loosely, and they were always everywhere, and it was starting to color on it. So I got this little, I think this was 50 cents at Walmart, and it's just a little crayon box, and I thought this was a lot nicer to be able to keep those contained. And I don't like using those cardboard boxes because after one use, especially with this age, they just tear them up. So he's got his lid, and then inside of his, he's got a course book. So his is a little different because he doesn't just have one course book. They have all kinds of games and different things. So this is another thing that I got at Walmart. They are just these little canvas zipper pouches. The zipper is actually pretty nice, but I use this for the little games. So we've got the directions and then all the little game pieces in here so that I'm not searching everywhere for that when I need it. Then they had these were, I think, 97 cents. And then these were also at Walmart, and they're these big, like plastic file folder portfolio things, and it just snaps. But this has a game and then all the little game pieces in it. So it's just so nice to be organized, and I know if we're playing the elephant game, we just pull that out. And he's got all these little books that we use for the pre-K stuff. I've got this number book that he used last year, and then an Usborne book. And then I've got the rest of his games that we haven't used yet, so I haven't even cut them out. But they're in here, and I'm not gonna have to go searching for them when the curriculum says, hey, pull that out and do that game today. So this has just been a lifesaver. So I was pleasantly surprised how amazing these boxes are. Now, I got mine at Hobby Lobby, and they were full price. They're $9.99. I had a 40% off coupon, and I had I had my two big girls with me, so I was able to buy 3 boxes, and they let us use the coupon for each one since there was one for each person. So they ended up being $5.99 for this whole box, which is awesome because at some of the other places, I know they do carry them at Michael's. They have another that's actually the LatchMate brand. They have another very similar thing, I think, at Walmart. I don't know how much those are. But the ones at Michael's, I'm pretty sure were like $14.99. And I was gonna pay full price, and then I found out they had them at Hobby Lobby. And I liked this color better. As you can see, that's kind of my color throughout my house. That's like my accent color, my favorite color. So I love these, and I felt like this color could work for boy or girl. So if you use your Hobby Lobby coupon, this can be a really great deal. So I was just gonna show you, they had a bunch of different designs of these portfolio ones. I showed you the black one already. Isn't that so pretty? For like just a little bit over $1, and they had gold ones too. So I have a few, I bought a few random ones for whatever, for the games and different things. I wasn't sure what we're gonna need. I'm gonna show you our morning box next, but these are so great to just keep organized, and I love how cheap and pretty they are. So that was great. So here is another storage solution that I have been using and I love. I also got this at the thrift store. This was $4, and it was hot pink. I'm not a big pink person, but I saw it and I loved the design with the slats on the side, and it's got a chalkboard on either end. So I just painted this white, so this didn't cost me much at all. This is our morning basket, morning box. So when we come together in the morning in the living room, I actually keep this on the fireplace, and I think it's pretty, even though it's got books in it. I keep it on the fireplace, and I think it goes with our living room, and it's fine. So when we come together in the morning, I know that everything we need is in here. I usually keep a read aloud in here that we're doing for Bible time. We either have a devotional book that we're doing, or sometimes right now we're going through the Psalms. So I keep my Bible in here. My girls keep their Bible in a bookshelf in the living room, but I keep mine in here. We couldn't fit all of them in here. I have all of our history that we do together. So I've got our history question book. I've got the family guide for history, and our history textbook, and we use Biblioplan for history. And then I have science. So we just have a science notebook because we use the Good and the Beautiful, and you just have, it's like printables that you hole punch. So I've got all of our science notebooking pages. This is an extra book that my daughter used last year with Heart of Dakota, and I just thought this was going to be a big, helpful book when we do study the human body this year. And then I've got a few more of these things. So this was the other, I showed you those. This is the other one that I found at Walmart, and this is one of those just like portfolio file folders, but this one has a little zipper top. I don't know, this was $1.25, $1.26. It was a little bit more than $1 at Walmart. So I don't know how long this little zipper is going to last, but I really like it, and I think it's definitely a step up from using a gallon zipper bag. But I use this for science. This has all of our vocabulary words in it. We have little books, little like mini books that we use for science. Those are kept in here. We've got like a vocabulary wall over there, so I keep all the words in here and I just pull them out when I need it. But it's so nice to have all this stuff in here as we use it, and everything fits in here. So instead of having this big pile on the table, everything fits in the box. So I've loved this. So check your thrift stores. Keep your eye out. Like I mentioned this before in another video, but your morning basket doesn't have to be a basket. I was kind of stuck on that for a little while, thinking I've got to find this basket that doesn't look like, you know, it should belong at my grandma's house, and that was kind of hard. I'm not a big basket person. So then when I saw this, I was like, well, it doesn't have to be a basket. It can be a box. So check your thrift stores. Thrift stores can be your best friend, especially in your homeschool. So the next thing that I got was actually from the Dollar Tree. So they were only $1 a piece. I use these little bins, well, this one bin, as my inbox. So every time the kids finish their work, they have someplace, I keep it over there on the top of that shelf. And as you can see, it's got a few things in here that need graded, just math for everybody and a couple other things. And they just stick their stuff in this inbox, just like the old-fashioned way that teachers do it. When I used to teach, I had an inbox that the kids would put their stuff in it once they finished it, and then I would know I needed to grade it. Last year, a lot of times, I would say, oh, make sure you leave your book out so I can grade it, or they would forget and put it away, or then it would just be a mess. And it was really hard for me to keep track of who needed what graded before the next day, and just check their work, you know? So this has been nice, just to have the simple little, and it matches everything else. Now, I did get these last year, but I think typically the Dollar Tree has the same kind of stuff. I've seen these here other years before, but they do stack too. They're not the sturdiest. I wouldn't put super heavy stuff in it, but if you're just using one like me, we just stack this. This usually doesn't get any higher than this because I usually keep up with the work. It's just helped a lot, keeping things organized and knowing what needs graded, and when this is done, I know my day's done, yay. So check the Dollar Tree, because they have a lot of different colors too of these kind of things. So this was really cool. Okay, so that is all I have for you today. Those are my storage solutions that we use in our homeschool. I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, please like this video and let me know in the comments which of these storage solutions I shared was your favorite. And if you use any of these in your homeschool, I'd be very curious to hear if anything, if you've flipped a thrift store find, or if you use these LatchMate bins or something like that, make sure you let me know. And make sure you subscribe and click the notifications button if you have not already done that, so that you're notified every time one of my new videos comes out. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.